Hello everyone, today I'm going to make a project video for my sociolinguistics subject and I will talk about language and gender. And before I start, let me introduce myself first. My name is Felicia Amanda with student number 221214-019. Before I start talk about language and gender, let me ask you some questions. Have you ever noticed how men and women often describe things differently? Even something as simple as colors. Like when a woman says that dress is baby blue with a hint of pink, and some guys just like it's just blue. Yep, this is not a coincidence. It's a part of something called language and gender. And today we're going to explore how gender affects the way we use language and what that tells us about our society, identity, and even power dynamics. Let's talk about it. And in this video, I will have 4 segments. And the first segment, which is segment 1, I will talk about what is language and gender. So, language and gender is a topic in sociolinguistics subject, the study of how language interacts with society. Researchers like Robin Lacouf, Janet Holmes, and others have found that men and women often use language in different ways, not just in what they say, but how they say it. And here's the important part. Those differences are not random. They are connected to social roles, expectations, and even issues like power, politeness, and stereotypes. For example, Lakoff argued that many features of what she called women's language, like hedges, questions, and intensifiers, reflects women's traditionally lower power status in society. But over time, linguistics have also found that these features can show empathy, support, and emotional intelligence, not just uncertainty. Let's jump to the next segment, and I will talk about the real-life examples. The first example is about color terms. Women tend to use more precise and specific color vocabulary. In some cases, women will say, her blouse is baby blue with pink undertones, but men will just say, that's just blue. According to Lakoff, women often use more refined color names like baby blue, turquoise, or peach, while men typically use the basic palette like red, blue, green, I think, yes, something like that. Okay, so the second example is about tech questions. Women also more likely to say things like you are joining us later, aren't you? Or it's cold today, isn't it? These are called tag questions, and while some think they show insecurity, others argue they are actually a polite way to include others and invite agreement, especially in conversations. And the third example is about hedges and fillers. Phrases like I think, you know, or short of are often used by women to soften speech. They might say, I think it's kind of unfair, instead of directly saying that's unfair. This doesn't always mean uncertainty. It can also be a strategy to avoid sounding aggressive or to keep things friendly. And the fourth example is interruptions. Here's something shocking. In one well-known study by West and Zimmerman, researchers found that in mixed-gender conversation, men made 96% of the interruptions. That's right, women were being talked over way more often. Why? Because interruptions often signal dominance, and in many cultures, men are encouraged to take the floor. And the last example is about feedback and support. Women are also more likely to give supportive feedback while someone's talking, like saying, yeah, right, or nothing. Men, on the other hand, tend to stay silent until it's their turn. So, if you feel like your female friend is more responsive in conversation, that's not just her personality, it's part of gender language patterns. Okay, let's jump to the next segment, which is segment 3. In this segment, I will talk about what does it all mean. These patterns are not just cute or quirky. They tell us something deeper. Women's language is often described as more polite, more indirect, and more cooperative. Men's language tends to be more direct, competitive, and status-focused. But that doesn't mean one style is better. In fact, in leadership and teaching roles, researchers have found that combining both styles, being assertive and empathetic, can be more effective than sticking to just one. Also, these patterns are shaped by social expectation, not biology. In cultures like Madagascar, it's men who speak more politely and indirectly, while women are more direct. That completely flips the Western stereotype. Okay, so the last segment is about language, gender, and identity. Language also plays a huge role in how we express our gender identity. A man who uses sober tones and emotional words might be seen as less masculine. A woman who speaks directly and firmly might be seen as too aggressive. But these are just stereotypes. Many people use language strategically to fit in, to stand out, or to challenge norms. Gender isn't fixed, it's performed, and language is one of the tools we use to perform it. So, what have we learned? Language is powerful. It reflects who we are, but it also shapes how others see us. Understanding language and gender helps us be more aware of how we speak, how we listen, and how we respect each other's voices. It also reminds us that being different doesn't mean being wrong. It just means we're bringing different tools to the conversation. And then I have a question for you. Do you think men should start saying baby blue and pink undertones more often? Or is it fine to stick with blue? Let me know what you think in the comment sections. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.